I have an exciting project for you guys today. So I have these two Chinese scooters here, and I got that one for free. I paid this, I don't know, like $10–15, and it has all the parts needed for it to run, but it doesn't have a cable for throttle, and it doesn't even work. But this one I already fixed. It came without a carburetor, but I bought a new carburetor, installed it, and I fixed it. So yeah, it does work. So I don't want to use them for riding, because they are cheap Chinese scooters and they are dangerous because they have small wheels and the quality is really bad. They don't work good. So I want to make a project out of them. I want to make a three-wheeled rear engine go-kart. So basically I want to take one of these engines and chop it off right around here and install it on a new frame with these two wheels on the front with full suspension and everything. And I want to make a YouTube series out of it. So yeah guys, in this video we are going to try and fix this 4-stroke engine here. So and in the next video I'm going to chop the frames off and I'm going to try and make that go-kart. So go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss a video, and yeah, enjoy watching it. Okay, so first thing to do, we are going to try and clean most of this crap out, and I'm going to use an air compressor and a vacuum cleaner for that. Okay, before getting any further, I want to see if the bike has any compression in it. So yeah, it does feel like it has. It does feel like it has pretty decent compression. Next thing to see if it has any spark. And to do that we need to take out the spark plug. The spark plug still looks usable, so yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. You can see that without the spark plug the compression is really low. Actually it doesn't have any, so I can just crank it with my hand, and before I couldn't do that, so it has some compressions. As you can see, there is no spark, so we need to find which wire to connect to get this CDI to give signal to this high voltage transformer to give us the spark we need. As you can see, some wires on these scooters are cut, but we are going to try and hot wire the signal inside this CDI and try to get a spark. As you can see, the battery is not installed, so we might not get a spark without the battery. So I'm going to try and rig something up to get the 12 volts we need for the scooter to run. I don't have a 12-volt battery on hand, but I do have this PC power supply, which can give enough amps to crank the engine. I know that, but we are going to see if it is going to be enough to give us the spark we need. I mean, of course it will be enough. Okay, the power supply is on. We connected our ground and the plus 12-volt wire here. So let's see if we have the spark. There should be a starting relay here, but someone cut it out and took it. So I'm going to bridge these two wires and that should crank the starter motor on. But before that, I'm going to remove this air inlet hose, because I don't know what crap is inside it, so I don't want to clog up the carburetor. I mean, I think it's already clogged up, but I don't want the engine sucking all this crap inside of it. So I'm going to remove that now. Okay, I have removed the inlet hose, so the air will go straight in the carburetor, and I have removed some plastic bits so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, we have power, and all we need to do is bridge these two wires to start the starter motor. And with it, we are going to see if we have any spark here. Okay, we have some spark, but it's really weak. Let me try and adjust the camera so you can see it. Okay, let me try this again. There is some weak spark. I'm going to clean this spark plug and I'm going to put some fuel in the spark plug hole, and I'm going to reinstall the spark plug, and we are going to try and crank it again. I'm going to use a steel brush to clean this up. It looks much better now. I have some fuel here in this syringe, and I'm going to put some fuel in the spark plug hole. We should have probably done this earlier, but we need to check if the motor has any oil in it before we start it up. And it looks like it does have some oil. Maybe it needs topping up, but I don't really care for that now. If it works, we are going to change the oil. Okay, I have some fuel in the cylinder. I have installed the spark plug. I'm going to connect the spark plug cable up like so, and I'm going to bridge these two wires again, and hopefully the motor will start. Oh, did you hear that? It did start for a second, but I will need to throttle it up because there is not enough air in the engine. So this time I'm going to put some fuel right through the carburetor. Now I'm going to keep it at full throttle, and I'm going to jump start it. And there you go, guys. We have a fully working motor. The next step would be trying to clean this carburetor up so it works and idles like a normal motor would. So let me try and do that, and I'll get back at you. There should be a plastic spacer between this and the motor inlet, and somebody lost it or broken it, but they put some silicone in there, which is really stupid thing to do, because there could be some silicone entering in the engine and damaging it. But we have the carburetor out, and we are going to try and clean it up so we can get... Okay, we have moved here to my welding table, and we are going to disassemble this carburetor and clean it up. First thing, I'm going to remove the float bowl so I can see if dirty fuel in there. I'm going to try not to damage any seals because I don't have any spare. I need to reuse them back again. Okay, all the screws are removed. So we are going to someone probably used some silicone, and the silicone with the gasoline don't mix, and gasoline will dissolve the silicone and it will end up clogging your jets. As you can see here, this is your main jet, and this is your idle jet, and this is the float bowl, which seems to be working, I guess. But we are going to take it out and clean everything up and see if we are getting any fuel in the engine. The float bowl looks dirty, really dirty, so we are going to clean all that up and remove all this silicone so we can get this working again. I have finished cleaning this carburetor. It had a lot of silicone sealing in it, so I cleaned everything up. I have cleaned the small nozzles inside, and I'm going to try and fit it back on the bike and see if it works. Okay, I have installed the carburetor back. I think it is cleaned now, but we are going to see. And I have hooked up this temporary fuel tank with this line here going to the filter and into the carburetor. The fuel tank needs to fill up the float bowl, and when the float bowl is full, it should go through the carburetor and into the engine. So let's try to start it. If everything is working, it should run now. And there you go, guys. We have a working engine and a working carburetor. I'm going to let it run because the choke needs to retract, and we are going to see if it runs okay. Oh, it won't run very good because the back wheel is stuck, so we need to unstuck the wheel for it to rev up. Now that we have a working engine, finally, now we can work on the back wheel because it is stuck and I don't know why. We are going to disassemble the pulleys and the belts, and we are going to see why is it stuck. Maybe because the brake is rusted or something like that, but we are going to see. Okay, we are going why this wheel is not moving. So I'm going to disassemble this housing here, and that will reveal the clutch, the gears and the pulleys. So yeah, let's do that now. Okay, as I was disassembling this, I found out that this rear brake actually seized up, so I just hammered it up a little bit and the wheel freed. Yeah, this needs a little bit WD. I'm going to fill this tire with air because it is deformed, and I'm going to try and start the motor again. Now that we have freed our back tire and we filled it up with air, it looks round now. It is not as deformed as before. Now we are going to try and start this engine again and try to spin the tire. There we go. As you can see, it is working now, but I hear some strange sounds coming up from that CVT. So we are going to disassemble that later. I don't even care for it right now. I just wanted to make the engine work, and it does work. It works pretty good, but yeah, I will probably sell this engine, and I'm going to use the other one that I showed you to make the three-wheeled go-kart. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe so you don't miss any other videos here, so you can check that go-kart build, and I will see you in another one. Bye!